So I've been playing around with this, which is an improvised face mask made out of acetate sheet, and the foam across the top is a little bit of insulation foam for draft excluders. So you can get basically a pack of these, usually very cheaply, about 10 pence each, and the foam was from a Poundland for about 10 meters. So the whole reason for exploring this was to look at not necessarily the medical care of people who are in hospitals, as I think obviously it makes sense for them to have a higher grade of visor. But there's probably a lot of people who aren't in that first priority category, and they might find that they just need that little bit extra security, either for themselves or indeed to give that little bit of extra security to other people, as well as wearing a mask underneath, of course. So I hope it's useful as a hack, and as I said, I stress this is not medically approved or recommended, but might just give some additional protection at low cost and low complexity to basically do it yourself. Hope it's useful. Thanks. Okay, so first of all, to make one of these, you're basically going to take the sheet and just round off the corners so they don't injure anyone. So as I said, these come at basically about 10 pence a sheet. Like that. It's a little bit hard to see. I appreciate that. But just taking some scissors, rounding off the corners. I'm just trying to do this real time, so forgive me for the lack of editing, but I think it's also helpful to show people how to do it if they would actually do it themselves. So the basically sticky back foam, measure it out roughly, take the backing off like so, and of course if it's not backed you could just basically get a little bit of sticky tape, stick it down, or indeed if you had some doubts about the skin compatibility of the foam, maybe putting a bit of sellotape down over the top of it might be advisable as well. So then taking a stapler, I just sort of rest it up against it like that, and I've noticed that just seems to actually be the perfect position of using the piece. There we are. So then I found taking a bit of string, and again you could get fancy with doing little slip knots, doing bows, doing all sorts, but I'm really just trying to show something that's super simple here. There we go. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just try it on quickly. And by fluke I seem to have got a good fit, so that's worked. But if you need to tighten it up, basically just take a loop like this, loop it round, thread it through and pull. And that's how you basically shorten it. And indeed it does mean that you could maybe hang it up in the cloakroom or whatever. I suspect it's probably a good idea to write your name across the top of it to save these things getting lost.